I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review, and this is another paid request, Patreon request, this time for Paul Wilson. Thank you so much for that. If anyone wants to request pretty much any type of videos or topics or reactions or lists or pretty much any type of video, you can either join my Patreon or send a request via PayPal. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, this is for a British film called Goodnight Mister Tom, which is based on a book, which I've never read. And I had never heard of this film before. It was made for TV, so the productions are fairly low. You tell by the look, the cinematography. Like, even without looking it up, I'm like, yeah, this looks like a TV movie. But I will say, it's a decent little feel-good movie. Because the actors, including John Thaw as our lead, Tom Oakley, and then Nick Robinson as the little boy, they did well in their job. And like I said, it's a feel-good film. And that's not too bad to watch in the time that we live in. Now, it takes place during World War II. There are times where kids were evacuated to the countryside for their safety. And so random people would have to, hey, could you let this kid live with you for a while, shack up with you for a while. And so this guy who lost his family to, I believe, scarlet fever a while ago, and he seems like a grumpy guy, but he's got a good heart. He's a very decent guy. And John Thaw, sadly, he's long since passed away. He did a good job. You really bought that this is someone that you could put your trust into, that you could look up to, that this kid would look at as a surrogate father, and you could really buy that and believe that, and I think that's essential to the story that's being told here. Now, what happens is, this kid, you could tell something's up. He's afraid of dogs, even though the dog's very nice. There's one point where the guy has, like, a fire poker or something, and the kid faints, and he's like, what the hell? What? He didn't think I was gonna. The kid wets his bed, and finally he sees that there's these big scars on the kid's back. And the guy, the older gentleman, Tom, he gets his letter from the kid's mom, and the mom is this God-fearing woman who's an abusive bitch. A big old mentally fucked up bitch. Saying if he doesn't do this or do that, use this on him, and it's a belt. I like the moment where the guy, after seeing all this, especially the scars, he takes the belt and he gets pissed and just fucking throws it outside. And stuff like that really helps you connect with this older gentleman of Tom. And things start going well. The kid starts making friends. The kid hasn't been taught much in school, so the old man teaches him how to write. Oh, you see this? Just connect the dots. Helps him with that. Realizes he can do well in drawing, so buys him art supplies. Things are going well until ultimately the kid gets a letter. Oh, your mom's sick, you gotta go back. Kid goes back. The mom lied. She is fine. Then things go wrong. Things go bad. Bit darker than I thought. But things do work out at the end. And I'll get more into spoilers. But like I said, it's one of those movies that... It's... Like I said before, it's a feel-good British drama. I would say if you're a fan of the book... I don't know. I don't know how same or different it is from the book. I guess if you want to see a simple, straightforward, feel-good movie, this was for free on YouTube. It's not good acting. There's really not much else I can say about it because it's not one of those films that has a spectacle to talk about because of the lack of budget. It doesn't really have much of other stories going on. It's not a film that's really trying to say about the intricacies of war. Well, at the very end it does, which I don't want to say it comes out of left field, but I'll get to that. So really, it's... If you look up the movie on IMDb or Wikipedia, or wherever you look up movies, and you're like, you know what? You like British dramas, you like this kind of movie, it's definitely worth a look. But to get more in-depth, and spoilers, let's say there's a moment where the kid gets home and this woman's a fucking crazy bitch. She's a crazy bitch. She has this new baby and won't believe in the kid. You can tell she's mentally fucked up. It even gets to a point where I said this film gets a bit dark. Thankfully, they don't really hone in on the evil darkness of it. Movie nowadays, it'd be like 5 minutes of her whipping the kid, 5 minutes more of dragging him down, 5 minutes more of hurting, breaking hands. You get the gist of it. It's like the movie went and said, we know you don't get the gist of it, so she puts him in this cupboard with the baby. Boom, it cuts to Tom. Now, granted, he digs up and he sees the belt. I don't know how the belt got there, because he threw it. I'm trying to remember if he dug, if he buried the belt, or someone else buried the belt. I can't remember. But, he sees it, and then he just knows something's wrong, like he has a Jedi mind link to the kid. So it's one of those things you either go with it or you don't. I'll go with it. Maybe it was one of those things that he kept calling, there's no answer, and then it's then maybe he looks at the belt. Great, he didn't get letters, but maybe he's like, hey, can I have a phone call? Maybe a little bit more to that scene, and then look at the belt and then going. It's not a big deal. One of my few nitpicks with the movie, what I just said is like, okay, it's not a big deal. He gets with the cops, finds the kid who's been handcuffed in the closet with this baby. The baby's dead. The kid gets put in a hospital. It seems like it gets to a point where the movie should be over, but then it keeps going for like another 15 minutes. And that was kind of weird on a structural sense. Because how this film has been structured and how the story's been going, it really does feel like the end of the movie is the kid's in the hospital, he gets out of the hospital, some doctors want to put him into a home, into another like state home. The kid is afraid of it, and this guy says, what he needs is love. Something that he hasn't seen much of. The only time he's seen is when he stayed with me. He convinces the guy to leave, tells the kid, you're staying with me. The kid hugs him. That seems like the end of the movie. If they hug, boom, end the movie. That seems done. But then it's almost as if the last 15 minutes went, okay, we don't have this other story. But it's only like a 10-minute story. That just felt off to me. I don't know how to put it. It just felt... I don't even know if you really needed it. It's almost as if, shit, if we don't have this, the movie is like only an hour and 10, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. We need to somehow be 90 minutes, so let's throw this in there. Where one of the kid's buddies throughout the film, that kid hears that his dad got fucked up in the docks, maybe still alive. The kid goes on the train. Then our main little kid gets a letter that kid died. And then he's out of it. He's sad. And then the old man says, hey, they may be gone physically, but they're always going to live in our hearts. Just like with my wife and my kid before, just like you with your friend. I mean, truthfully, that moment is good. The very, very end where the kid is riding this bike. I can really ride, Dad. I can really ride. So the fact that he actually calls the guy Dad, at a very heartfelt moment when they hug. You could have those two moments too. Because when the kid finds out he's not go to the hospital, before they just was told that his mom died. You could go from that scene directly to the grave site. And the kid say something about, I know my mom did a lot of horrible things, but she's still my mom. And, hey kid, I understand, but just remember, they may be physically gone, but... Which, granted, maybe that'd be a bit weird to say about that mom, because she was a fucking fruitcake. But okay, the baby that died, or like, you could work that into the dialogue and then have a kid just have any bike. Doesn't have to be just the bike he rides is the kid who died, his friend's bike. Like, you could work around that and cut like 10, 15 minutes of this movie. That, again, I thought was extraneous. I thought was not really needed. It felt, again, filler that we need to justify the running time. That's just my opinion. Again, I like the very end of all that. Again, with the speech the John Thaw gives and the bite scene. Yeah, the other 10, 15 minutes. Yeah, I might. Well, the movie's over, so now I'm kind of done. And that's when maybe they were trying to go for, okay, we gotta remind people this is World War II, and the kid died, his friend died because of the war. But again, it just seemed as if, okay, this seems like another movie now, and not the movie that we've been with that's been about these two and the God-fearing woman, the kid's mom. Maybe I'm alone at that. Overall, though, it's a solid movie for what it is. Like I said, if you like feel-good movies, if you're at all knowledgeable on the book, if you like British dramas and a feel-good movie about a kid finding love of a parental way with a guy who becomes his surrogate dad, and the nice, friendly camaraderie that is born between these two characters. It was a nice little movie. It was a nice little film. With that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.